Whoa! Welcome everybody. Today we're doing a quick little live video here because I want to play around with these settings some more, and so that's part of it, to make sure that all this kind of stuff is working, but also because I've had stuff just kind of piling up here and I need to work through some of this stuff, and I figure this one is going to be pretty easy. This is the Pac-Man micro player retro arcade from My Arcade, and we've talked about some of their stuff before. You can check out a previous video that was doing Burger Time and Karate Champ and Bad Dudes, right? Did I do Bad Dudes? That was this one, right? Yeah, Karate Champ and Bad Dudes and Burger Time. Now they've got Pac-Man. I also have a Dig Dug down here, but I'll do that later. I want to see this first and see how well some of this stuff shows up. So if we take a look here at this guy, you can see that it's just the standard packaging, the same type of stuff we've seen before. All of you guys should be pretty familiar with this kind of thing by now. But I do like the fact that they've got the actual what looks to be the header card from the arcade machine as the artwork across the top there, and I thought that was a nice touch on the box. It gives the box a little more of an arcade feel, and you can even see on the side here the way that they've put some artwork on the actual box emulates the arcade machine. And we'll take a look at the machine on the inside here in just a second, but I thought that was a nice touch. On the back, you've got a close-up showing the controls, showing the fact that the little joystick there can come off. You can twist it off and not use it. And so, yeah, it's a nice-looking box, nice-looking display. Everything about this is, it is pretty good quality. So let's go ahead and get this open. And of course, I don't have my knife handy, so I'm just gonna have to rip into this, which I always hate doing. I always hate ripping open packages. There's always that part of me inside that's like, oh, then you can't put it back in the shelf, whatever. But so, all right. So here we've got the machine. You can see there's a plastic overlay used so you can get an idea in case you don't know what Pac-Man is, and you just want to get an idea of what Pac-Man looks like. You've never seen it before. There you go. It's really shiny, and so I know the reflection from the lights can be a little tough sometimes, but you can see they've got the coin slots there and the artwork on the side. And this, yeah, I remember this artwork. I mean, this is pretty good artwork for being that machine. So let's switch to 2cam real quick here. When you're looking at this, I don't know if I can get it to really focus, but you can see there are those white panels around the edge next to My Arcade on either side, and those are instructions on how to play, and I think the point values, which is what was on the arcade machines. So that is a nice touch that they've added there. You've got to reset and start. I'm guessing this is the NES ROM. That's what a lot of these seem to be nowadays when they do that. And again, one thing I love about this, they give you the options. So you've got a headphone jack and volume control buttons, which is nice. You've got the ability to take off the joystick if you want to just use the pad. That's nice. But they also have the ability here, if you've got a micro USB cable, perhaps from your cell phone, you can plug that in and use that instead of using up batteries, which is a nice touch because we tend to go through a lot of batteries in this house. And another thing, I love this. You see right there, see that little notch that's sticking up there? Yeah, that little notch is where the screw was supposed to be, but they decided not to put the screw in there so you can open it very easily. And that, my friends, is a big bonus. So, all right, we're gonna open this up. I've got some batteries over here that I'm gonna put in, and we're gonna make sure that this little buddy plays just fine because I like the look of these. Now the cabinet itself doesn't look like the actual shape of the Pac-Man cabinet, so they didn't have these little wingtips standing up. It was more of your standard format. In fact, I've got it's buried, I won't pull it out, but I do have a mini one back there that shows what it actually looks like. But you guys know what arcade cabinets look like. I don't need to show you all of that. So let's see here. I'm going to pop this out, and we're going to take a look here. All right, so we have to peel off this sticker. So again, that sticker that shows you what the game board looks like, that peels off. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick it on my laptop here, just because, and of course I got to get it just right. Okay, so now we have the machine. Let's turn it on, and you can see the screen there. And like I said, I think this is just the NES ROM, and I can't really get it. The camera is kind of blown out by the brightness of it. I've got it set to kind of auto, but you can see we've got the credits and everything running on there. It does look a little stretched from the arcade look. So again, I think this is some sort of previously released TV-ROM version. And there's the game board you can see on the side with the scores. Now, normally this was in one of those regular cabinets that had it, flipped vertically. So the TV screen was actually sideways. And so then that made it so, when you were playing, you had the field was standing up vertically, and that was common for arcades back in those days. But of course, when they made home video conversions for like the NES or whatever, TVs are, in that sideways rectangle shape, the horizontal rectangle, and so they had to convert it a little bit to get it to work on there. So, it is what it is. It's no big deal really as far as any of that goes. So let's take a look here. If I start, are we going to get, we got some sounds, and then we play, and I'm sure you guys know what Pac-Man is like. All right, I'm going to try to do this in reverse. I just got eaten. Now those sounds, those are not arcade sounds, so I can tell you right now, for those of you saying that's not arcade accurate, you are correct. I'm trying to play this backwards. It is not the easiest thing to do. And of course I just got eaten. Alright, so you guys can see. Now again, it's a nice quality. It's, a very hard shell plastic. This type of thing, you might drop it once or twice and it's going to survive it. It's going to last. And it looks good on your shelf. And if we look at some of these other ones, I'll grab Burger Time here just as a comparison. These things, they're a little wider than a standard arcade machine would have been. It would have been taller, and these are a little fatter. But, a little fatness ain't a bad thing for anybody. And again, the tops of these machines, you can see on these machines that they've been doing, there are a couple different variations, and this is Pac-Man is a little different from the Burger Time. You can see the angle at the top is a little different. The way that board is sticking out is a little different. So, they do have some different styles. So when you have these all lined up on your shelf, they don't look 100% the same. It's not like a cookie cutter exactly. It does have the extra, piece at the top, these wingtips that weren't common on a lot of arcade machines. But still, it looks pretty good. I think it's a pretty good machine. So yeah, I like this thing. I'm kind of debating, does this count as a game video or does this count as like a toy video? I can't really decide which one it should be under. I'm thinking, I did buy it at Toys R Us, so this can count as a toy video. But I'm thinking really this counts as a video game. I don't know, kind of does both. But video game toys are fantastic. And this, one more thing I want to point out here before we go away, is that I can see that the artwork on the side is not a sticker. If you look at some of these, like this Burger Time, that is a big orange sticker that you can see is stuck on the side of a black cabinet in order to make it fit. And I'll just switch without the filters there for a second, just so you can see it nice and big. That's actually printed on. You can see that yellow actually continues all the way through. And I'm looking, now I take it back. Now that I look closer at it, it's a big yellow sticker all the way down. But the yellow sticker covers the entire side, and it is virtually the same color, so it's almost indistinguishable. You really have to get up close and look. But it makes it nice that the artwork is solid all the way down. Normally, they laser cut it so that they can save money and not have to make an entire sticker. So you have these things kind of floating there, and they always look kind of bad. So I just like the fact that they you know, even though upon closer inspection it is a sticker still, but it is covering the entire side, and I think that makes it look just a little bit nicer. So, all right. Oh, I think there's one more thing I forgot to cover on this.
These nuts.
Oh, no, wait, that's covered. Never mind. All right, so there we go. And just to show you that you can twist it off, and there it is, twisted off. If you want to just use it as a little thumb pad, you know, hold it in your hand, kind of like a Game Boy. That's a little funky, but I like having the actual arcade stick on there, and I actually do play these, and I set them on the table, and I actually move the arcade stick around, and I think that's a fun way to do it. Light up lights in the coin return slots. The screen looks nice. It is pretty glossy. You can see the glare from the lights and everything. Makes it kind of hard to look at sometimes, but overall, a nice package. These run a little more expensive than some of the other arcade things out there, but again, they do seem like a pretty high quality and a lot nicer than some of the others. So, all right, don't forget, if you have any other questions, comments, anything that you want to you know, throw my way, you can always email me, dirt@popculturenetwork.com, or you can find me on Twitter. It's @PCN_dirt. And I'll be sure in some of these future videos, I'm going to do question and answer, responding to some of your questions about these, about comic books, about toys, about anything else in general. If you want to know what size shoe I wear, I can pull those out too as well, you know, whatever it is. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.